Have you ever noticed how some people naturally draw others toward them? There is a presence, a quiet energy, that makes others feel comfortable, safe, and even inspired. This is what we can call an attractive aura, not about looks, or wealth, or status, but about the way your mind and character shine through. There are signs that reveal when your inner energy is strong, calm, and magnetic. Calmness is one of the most powerful signs of a highly attractive aura. It is the quiet strength that shows itself not through noise or show, but through steady presence. A person with calmness does not react immediately to every insult, disappointment, or unexpected event. They pause, observe, and choose their response rather than being swept away by emotion. This is not a lack of feeling, but a mastery over the mind and body. It is easy to get carried away by anger, fear, or frustration. The world presents endless challenges, and people often allow these challenges to control their mood and actions. But someone with a calm aura has learned to see clearly what is within their control and what is not. They understand that reacting impulsively to every difficulty only increases suffering and chaos. Instead, they respond with intention and thought. Their calmness is magnetic because it reassures others. When people feel stressed, anxious, or uncertain, they naturally look for someone who embodies stability. Calmness signals that you can handle the difficulties of life without losing yourself. It draws people because it reflects competence and self-mastery. It shows that you are not a prisoner of external events, but the master of your own mind. Calmness also allows for better decision-making. When the mind is clouded by strong emotions, clarity disappears. Anger narrows vision, fear distorts reality, and anxiety prevents action. A calm person sees clearly, evaluates wisely, and acts effectively. This ability to stay clear-headed in any situation makes them appear confident and capable, even when no words are spoken. Another aspect of calmness is presence. When you are calm, you are fully in the moment. You do not dwell on the past or obsess over the future. Your attention is not scattered by worries or regrets. Others sense this presence. They feel the space you create around you, and they are drawn to it, because it provides relief from their own turbulent thoughts. Calmness also encourages reflection, rather than reaction. When someone insults or provokes you, a calm person considers whether the words have value or are simply noise. They do not lash out unnecessarily, but they do not allow disrespect to pass without acknowledgement either. Their responses are measured and deliberate. This balance creates a natural aura of authority and trustworthiness. People want to be near someone who remains unshaken because it offers stability in a world that is often unpredictable. Calmness is cultivated through discipline. It is the result of observing your own thoughts and controlling impulses. It is the practice of noticing anger, frustration, or fear and choosing not to act on them immediately. It is learning to breathe, to pause, and to center yourself before responding. Those who develop calmness become like a deep river, steady, unhurried, and life-giving. Others are drawn to its depth without fully understanding why. Calmness is also reflected in body language. A calm person does not fidget, shout, or pace excessively. Their movements are measured, their voice steady, and their eyes attentive. This physical expression reinforces the mental state, making the aura even more noticeable. People naturally mirror this energy. When you are calm, others around you tend to feel calmer too. This ripple effect increases your influence without words or force. Calmness does not mean avoiding action or responsibility. It is not passivity. It is the ability to act decisively when necessary, without being ruled by emotion. It is the power to face life, challenges without being overwhelmed, and to maintain clarity and dignity under pressure. Those who master calmness understand that the world is unpredictable, and that their peace depends on their own mind, not on external circumstances. It is this self-controlled, steady presence that makes an aura magnetic, drawing people who crave stability, insight, and quiet strength. That self-respect is a quiet yet powerful force that contributes greatly to a highly attractive aura. It is not about pride or arrogance, but about knowing your own value and living according to it. A person with self-respect does not seek approval from others or try to impress those around them. They act in alignment with their principles, their values, and their understanding of what is right. This confidence without neediness radiates outward, drawing people naturally because it signals integrity and strength. Self-respect begins with awareness of oneself. It requires honest observation of one actions, thoughts, and choices. A person who respects themselves recognizes their strengths and weaknesses without exaggeration or denial. They accept who they are, but also understand where growth is needed. This clarity allows them to act decisively, without hesitation caused by insecurity. When you respect yourself, you do not tolerate disrespect from others. You set boundaries calmly and clearly. You do not engage in behavior that diminishes your dignity or betrays your values, even if it might please others temporarily. This ability to maintain standards quietly and firmly makes your presence magnetic because people sense that you are steady and trustworthy. Self-respect also manifests in how one treats others. A person who values themselves treats others with respect, not from fear or desire for reward, but from a place of integrity. They do not manipulate, lie, or take advantage, because doing so would violate their own standards. People are drawn to this kind of person because it feels safe, honorable to be around them. Another aspect of self-respect is humility. Knowing your worth does not require boasting or seeking recognition. A person with self-respect understands that their value is inherent, not dependent on praise or external validation. This quiet confidence is more attractive than loud displays of ego, because it signals inner security and independence. Self-respect also allows for calm decision-making. When you trust yourself and your judgment, you are less likely to be swayed by the opinions or pressures of others. You act according to reason and principle rather than impulse or social expectation. This clarity of action enhances your aura because people sense that your choices are deliberate and grounded. Cultivating self-respect requires discipline and reflection. It involves noticing when you compromise unnecessarily, when you give more than is reasonable, or when you let fear of judgment dictate your actions. Each time you act in alignment with your own values rather than seeking approval, your aura grows stronger. Self-respect is evident in small behaviors as well. The way you carry yourself, speak, and engage with the world reflects your understanding of your own worth. You do not slouch in fear, nor do you boast to dominate. Your presence is balanced, steady, and dignified. Those around you sense this energy immediately. People are naturally drawn to someone who respects themselves because it reflects a model for how they might respect themselves too. Self-respect creates a foundation for all other attractive qualities. Calmness, empathy, composure, authenticity, and generosity all stem from a secure understanding of one's own value. Without self-respect, other qualities may appear inconsistent or fragile. But when self-respect is present, it strengthens the entire character. It signals reliability, trustworthiness, and integrity without the need for words or explanation. This inner sense of worth resonates outward, quietly, attracting those who appreciate strength, clarity, and moral balance. Empathy is a deep and quiet strength that greatly enhances a highly attractive aura. It is the ability to notice and understand the feelings of others without judgment or expectation. A person with empathy does not see others merely as objects or obstacles but as fellow human beings, each with struggles, joys, and fears. This awareness allows them to respond with kindness and thoughtfulness, creating a sense of connection and trust. Empathy begins with attention. A person who develops empathy listens carefully, not only to the words spoken but also to the emotions behind them. They notice the tone of voice, the expressions, and the body language of others. This careful observation is not passive curiosity, but an active willingness to understand what someone else is experiencing. People naturally feel drawn to this kind of presence because they feel seen and understood. In a world where many interactions are rushed or superficial, someone who genuinely listens provides comfort and reassurance. Empathy also requires restraint. It does not seek to control, manipulate, or advise unnecessarily. Instead, it accepts the reality of others' feelings while offering support or guidance when appropriate. This restraint signals maturity and wisdom, which strengthens a person's aura. A highly empathetic person can absorb the emotions of others without becoming overwhelmed. They maintain their own stability while remaining attuned to the needs of those around them. This balance is magnetic because it reflects self-mastery as well as compassion. Another aspect of empathy is the ability to respond thoughtfully. When someone is suffering, angry, or confused, a person with empathy does not react with judgment or impatience. They remain calm and composed, offering words or actions that reflect understanding rather than criticism. This measured response allows the other person to feel safe and supported. Empathy also encourages humility. Recognizing that every individual has a unique perspective and internal world reminds a person that they do not hold all the answers. This awareness reduces arrogance and fosters genuine connection. People are drawn to humility because it creates an atmosphere of trust and openness. Developing empathy requires reflection and practice. It involves noticing your own biases and judgments, and choosing to set them aside in order to understand another person's experience. It requires patience, the willingness to be present, and the understanding that connection is more valuable than argument or self-interest. Empathy also strengthens relationships and influence without force. People respond positively to those who understand them, often seeking their company and advice. This influence is not achieved through dominance or persuasion, but through the natural power of understanding and care. The impact of empathy extends beyond individuals to groups and communities. A person who can sense the emotions of others and respond with wisdom can bring harmony where there is tension and understanding where there is confusion. Their presence has a calming effect and inspires cooperation and trust. Finally, empathy is intertwined with other qualities that enhance an attractive aura. Calmness, self-respect, authenticity, and composure are all amplified when combined with empathy. Together, these traits create a presence that is both magnetic and reassuring. People are naturally drawn to someone who can understand them, maintain their own balance, and act with integrity and kindness because it represents an ideal of human character that is rare and valuable. Authenticity is a quiet power that defines a highly attractive aura. It is the willingness to be fully oneself, without pretending, without masks, and without concern for what others might think. A person who is authentic does not try to fit into expectations that conflict with their values or beliefs. They act consistently with their inner principles, and this consistency creates trust and magnetism. Authenticity begins with self-awareness. You must understand who you are, what you believe, and what matters most to you. This requires honest reflection and the courage to face both strengths and weaknesses without denial or exaggeration. Once you are aware of your true self, authenticity is expressed in your actions, words, and presence. People can sense when someone is being genuine, even without close interaction. There is a difference between the energy of someone who acts to please others and someone who acts in alignment with their own values. The former creates uncertainty and distrust, while the latter inspires respect and connection. Authenticity also means embracing imperfections. A person who is authentic does not hide mistakes, flaws, or vulnerabilities out of fear of judgment. They accept them as part of being human, and when appropriate, acknowledge them openly. This honesty deepens relationships and strengthens the aura, because people are drawn to those who are real rather than polished or artificial. Another aspect of authenticity is courage. It takes courage to act according to your own values when it might be unpopular or misunderstood. It takes courage to express your thoughts honestly and to stand firm when others pressure you to conform. This courage adds strength to your presence because it shows that your confidence is not based on approval, but on integrity. Authenticity also brings clarity to your life. When you act in alignment with yourself, decisions are simpler because they do not require constant negotiation with social expectations or fear of criticism. This clarity translates into calmness and confidence, which are naturally attractive qualities. Developing authenticity requires patience and discipline. You must consistently observe your actions and intentions, correcting moments where you stray from your values or act out of fear. Over time, authenticity becomes a habit, a natural way of being that others sense immediately. Authenticity also enhances empathy and connection. When you are true to yourself, others feel safe to be themselves around you. This creates meaningful interactions and strengthens your presence because people feel comfortable and understood in your company. Your aura becomes magnetic not through charm or effort, but through the simple fact that you are real. Authenticity is not static. It grows as you grow. It requires continuous reflection, learning, and the courage to face change while remaining true to core principles. It is a balance between flexibility and steadfastness, allowing adaptation without compromise of essential values. The impact of authenticity extends beyond personal relationships. In any environment, whether work, family, or community, an authentic person serves as a beacon. Their clarity, integrity, and openness encourage others to act with honesty and integrity as well. Authenticity combined with other traits such as calmness, empathy, and self-respect strengthens the aura even further. It creates a presence that is magnetic, reassuring, and inspiring, showing that one can live fully, act with virtue, and maintain inner harmony without the need for pretense or approval. Composure in adversity is one of the strongest signs of a highly attractive aura. It is the ability to remain steady, clear-minded, and balanced when life presents difficulties. Everyone faces challenges, disappointments, and moments of uncertainty, but not everyone responds in a way that preserves their inner peace. A person with composure does not panic, complain, or react impulsively when confronted with obstacles. Instead, they observe the situation, accept what is happening, and choose their response deliberately. This does not mean they ignore problems or avoid action. On the contrary, composure allows a person to respond effectively and thoughtfully, rather than being driven by fear, anger, or frustration. Adversity is a test of character. When difficulties arise, it is easy to let emotions dictate behavior. Panic narrows thinking, anger clouds judgment, and fear can freeze action. But someone who maintains composure can see clearly, assess reality as it is, and act with calm precision. This ability to stay grounded attracts others because it signals reliability and strength. People instinctively gravitate toward those who can handle life, storms without losing themselves. Another aspect of composure in adversity is acceptance. A person with a strong aura understands that not everything is within their control. They do not waste energy resisting the unavoidable, nor do they blame others unnecessarily. Instead, they focus on what can be influenced: their thoughts, decisions, and actions. This acceptance creates inner freedom and reduces unnecessary stress, making the individual more magnetic and inspiring. Composure also requires patience. Challenges often unfold slowly, and immediate results are not always visible. A composed person can wait, observe, and act at the right moment without frustration or hurry. This patience reinforces their aura because it demonstrates self-control and wisdom. Cultivating composure in adversity also involves managing internal dialogue. When difficulties arise, the mind tends to exaggerate problems or anticipate worst-case scenarios. A composed individual recognizes these tendencies and chooses to maintain clarity. They do not allow fear or anger to dominate thought, but instead focus on reason and practical solutions. This mental discipline strengthens their presence and draws others to them, because people sense that this person can navigate challenges without chaos. Composure is reflected in behavior as well. A steady voice, measured movements, and calm expressions convey confidence and control even without words. These external signs reinforce the internal strength, making the aura more tangible and noticeable. Moreover, composure inspires others. When someone sees calmness in the midst of turmoil, they feel reassured. They learn that challenges can be faced without being overwhelmed, and they often seek guidance, support, or companionship from the person who demonstrates such poise. Developing composure requires practice and reflection. It grows from experience, self-awareness, and the consistent choice to act with reason rather than emotion. Each moment in which one faces difficulty with calmness strengthens this quality and makes the aura more magnetic. Composure in adversity is not a passive state, it is active mastery over oneself and one's reactions. It combines acceptance, patience, clarity, and inner strength. It signals to the world that while life may be unpredictable, the individual remains grounded and capable. This quality, when combined with calmness, self-respect, empathy, and authenticity, amplifies the overall attractiveness of one's presence, creating an aura that is both powerful and reassuring. Generosity of spirit is a profound quality that enhances a highly attractive aura. It is not about wealth, status, or material possessions, but about the willingness to give of yourself your time, your attention, your kindness, and your understanding without expecting anything in return. A person with a generous spirit does not act out of obligation, pride, or desire for recognition. They act because it is consistent with their nature, their values, and their understanding of what is good. This form of generosity is magnetic because it brings light into the lives of others, creating an invisible energy that draws people naturally. Generosity of spirit begins with awareness of others. It requires noticing needs, struggles, and emotions without judgment or criticism. A person who cultivates this awareness responds thoughtfully, offering support or assistance in a way that is meaningful and respectful. They do not force help where it is not wanted, but neither do they hesitate when it is needed. This balance demonstrates wisdom and sensitivity, qualities that strengthen their aura. Another aspect of generosity is humility. Giving freely without seeking reward reflects a deep understanding of self-worth and inner security. A person who is genuinely generous does not boast about their deeds or seek acknowledgement. They give quietly, and this quiet giving resonates far more powerfully than acts performed for attention. People are drawn to this kind of energy because it represents authenticity, self-control, and moral clarity. Generosity also extends to emotional support. A person with a generous spirit listens with patience, offers comfort without judgment, and celebrates the success of others without envy. They are willing to share insights, guidance, or encouragement simply because it is the right thing to do. This emotional generosity fosters trust and connection, and it makes people naturally want to be around them. Cultivating generosity requires self-discipline. It is easy to give when it is convenient, but true generosity often involves sacrifice, whether of time, effort, or personal comfort. The choice to act for the benefit of others without expectations strengthens one's character and reinforces the attractiveness of one's presence. Generosity is also reflected in small actions. A kind word, a patient smile, or a helpful gesture, even when unnoticed, contributes to the invisible energy that surrounds a person. These small acts accumulate, shaping the aura into something powerful and magnetic. Generosity of spirit is closely connected with other qualities such as calmness, empathy, authenticity, and composure. When combined, these traits create a presence that is not only attractive but also inspiring. People sense that the individual's actions stem from integrity, wisdom, and a deep understanding of human nature. Importantly, generosity of spirit is not limited to those who are in need. It extends to all interactions, creating harmony, respect, and goodwill wherever one goes. It is a consistent expression of inner virtue rather than a selective or occasional behavior. The impact of generosity is subtle but enduring. Unlike charm or charisma, which may fade over time, a generous spirit leaves a lasting impression. People remember how they felt in the presence of someone who gave without taking, who supported without judgment, and who acted with kindness and patience. This creates a ripple effect, inspiring others to act with generosity themselves, strengthening communities and relationships in ways that are often invisible but deeply felt. Ultimately, generosity of spirit is a reflection of the inner mind. When your thoughts, actions, and intentions are aligned with kindness and selflessness, your aura radiates naturally, attracting others and creating connection without effort. It is a quiet power that, like all true virtues, grows stronger the more it is practiced, shaping not only the person who gives but also the world around them. Confidence without arrogance is a key marker of a highly attractive aura. It is the quiet certainty that comes from knowing your abilities, values, and principles without the need to boast or dominate others. A person with this kind of confidence does not seek to prove themselves or to belittle others to appear stronger. Instead, their self-assurance comes from a clear understanding of who they are and what they can contribute. This kind of confidence is magnetic because it signals stability, reliability, and inner strength. Confidence begins with self-awareness. A confident person knows their strengths and their limitations. They do not overestimate or underestimate themselves. They are honest about what they can achieve and what they still need to learn. This realistic understanding allows them to act decisively and with clarity, without hesitation or doubt clouding their decisions. Others sense this certainty and are naturally drawn to it. Another aspect of confidence without arrogance is humility. A person can be strong and capable while remaining open to learning, listening, and receiving feedback. They do not see themselves as superior to others, but as someone who has developed their skills and knowledge through effort and reflection. This balance between competence and humility strengthens the aura because it creates trust and respect rather than fear or resentment. Confidence also expresses itself through calmness in action. A confident person does not rush to react with panic or overcompensation. They approach challenges with a clear mind, steady hands, and measured steps. This presence of control is attractive because it reassures others that they are in capable company. It demonstrates mastery over one's emotions and impulses, which is a rare and valued quality. Developing this confidence requires discipline. It grows from consistent effort, experience, and reflection. Each time a person faces difficulties with steadiness and learns from them, their confidence deepens. Unlike arrogance, which often masks insecurity, true confidence is rooted in repeated practice, knowledge, and self-control. Communication is also affected by confidence. A person who is confident without arrogance speaks with clarity, listens attentively, and does not dominate conversations. They express their ideas without forcing agreement, and they are open to differing perspectives without feeling threatened. This manner of interaction makes others feel respected and valued, further enhancing the attractive aura. Confidence without arrogance also extends to relationships. It allows a person to be supportive rather than controlling. They offer guidance, encouragement, and feedback without trying to assert superiority. Their presence is uplifting, not intimidating. Furthermore, this kind of confidence influences how others perceive challenges and success. People are drawn to those who approach life with certainty and steadiness because it provides a model for how they themselves might navigate uncertainty. Confidence is not a loud or flashy trait. It is quiet, grounded, and consistent. It combines knowledge of self, humility, composure, and respect for others. When paired with other qualities such as calmness, self-respect, empathy, authenticity, composure in adversity, and generosity, confidence without arrogance amplifies the overall magnetism of a person's aura. It signals that while life may be unpredictable, this individual has mastered themselves, their mind, and their actions in a way that is both inspiring and reassuring to everyone around them. Presence is a subtle yet powerful sign of a highly attractive aura. It is the ability to be fully engaged in the moment, aware of yourself and the people around you, without distraction or pretense. A person with presence does not need to dominate a room, speak loudly, or command attention. Their energy alone draws people in because it conveys calmness, confidence, and authenticity. Presence begins with mindfulness. To truly be present, a person must notice their own thoughts, emotions, and actions while also observing the environment and those around them. They are not lost in worries about the past or fears of the future, nor are they caught in the habit of judgment or distraction. Instead, they are fully attentive, noticing details and responding appropriately. This quality is magnetic because others feel acknowledged, understood, and safe in their company. Another aspect of presence is attentiveness. A person with a strong aura listens carefully, maintains eye contact, and shows through subtle gestures that they are truly engaged. They are not merely waiting to speak or thinking about what comes next. This attentiveness creates a sense of connection and respect, which draws people naturally toward them. Presence is also reflected in how one carries themselves. Posture, movement, and expression all contribute to the energy someone radiates. A calm, steady posture, measured movements, and a thoughtful expression communicate focus and control. People sense this alignment between mind and body, and it enhances the feeling of magnetism and trust. Composure is closely tied to presence. When a person remains calm, even in challenging situations, they signal that their inner state is stable and reliable. This steadiness attracts others because it provides reassurance and comfort, especially in a world that is often chaotic and unpredictable. Presence is strengthened by authenticity. When someone is genuinely themselves, fully aware of their values, and unconcerned with artificial impressions, their energy becomes consistent and clear. People instinctively respond to this clarity and honesty because it signals trustworthiness and integrity. Developing presence requires practice and reflection. It is cultivated through mindfulness exercises, self-awareness, and conscious attention to interactions. Each moment spent truly listening, observing, and acting with awareness strengthens this quality. Presence also includes emotional awareness. A person who is present recognizes their own feelings and the feelings of others, adjusting their responses appropriately. This emotional attunement allows for more meaningful interactions and creates a sense of comfort and connection. Another dimension of presence is restraint. A person with presence does not dominate conversations, interrupt others, or seek constant attention. They act and speak deliberately, allowing space for others and creating balance in interactions. This restraint makes their energy more noticeable because it contrasts with the noise and haste often found in social environments. Presence is not static. It grows through discipline and conscious living. It requires choosing to focus on the moment, to observe without judgment, and to act with awareness. When combined with qualities such as calmness, self-respect, empathy, authenticity, composure, generosity, and confidence, presence amplifies the attractiveness of a person's aura. It is the natural result of alignment between mind, body, and action, creating a magnetic energy that draws others without effort and fosters meaningful connections. Inner harmony is the foundation of a highly attractive aura. It is the alignment of thoughts, emotions, and actions, creating a sense of balance and consistency that others can feel without words. A person with inner harmony does not experience constant internal conflict or chaos. Their mind is not torn between competing desires, fears, or judgments. Instead, they have cultivated a clear understanding of themselves and the world, and this understanding allows them to act with reason, patience, and integrity. Inner harmony begins with self-awareness. It requires observing one's own thoughts and emotions honestly and without judgment. A person with harmony notices when negative patterns arise, such as anger, envy, or worry, and takes deliberate steps to redirect them toward calm, constructive responses. This clarity of mind radiates outward, creating a sense of stability that others are naturally drawn to. Another aspect of inner harmony is acceptance. A harmonious person recognizes that life is unpredictable and that many events are beyond their control. They do not waste energy resisting reality or wishing it were different. Instead, they focus on what they can influence: their own thoughts, actions, and attitudes. This acceptance reduces inner tension and creates a steady, grounded presence that feels reassuring to others. Emotional regulation is also a key part of inner harmony. A person who can acknowledge emotions without being controlled by them maintains balance in interactions and decisions. They do not react impulsively or let frustration dominate their behavior. This emotional equilibrium makes their presence magnetic because people sense the calm, composed energy that comes from self-mastery. Inner harmony also reflects consistency in values and actions. A person who acts according to their principles, rather than shifting behavior to please others or gain advantage, demonstrates integrity. This integrity reinforces the aura because it signals reliability and trustworthiness. Others feel safe and inspired by someone whose inner world is stable and consistent. Cultivating inner harmony requires discipline and reflection. It grows from daily practice of mindfulness, self-examination, and conscious decision-making. Each time a person chooses reason over impulsive reaction, understanding over judgment, and virtue over convenience, their inner harmony strengthens. Another dimension of inner harmony is the ability to balance personal needs with the needs of others. A harmonious individual does not sacrifice themselves entirely for others, nor do they disregard the well-being of those around them. They navigate relationships and responsibilities with care, creating a sense of equilibrium that enhances their aura. Inner harmony is also evident in physical presence. Calm gestures, measured movements, and a composed voice all communicate the alignment of mind and body. People instinctively respond to this coherence because it signals control, awareness, and authenticity. Moreover, inner harmony enhances all other qualities of an attractive aura. Calmness, self-respect, empathy, authenticity, composure, generosity, confidence, and presence are all strengthened when the mind, emotions, and actions are in balance. It allows these traits to radiate naturally, without effort or pretense, creating a consistent and magnetic energy. The effect of inner harmony is subtle but profound. People may not be able to articulate why they feel drawn to someone, but they recognize the steadiness, clarity, and balance that come from alignment within. It creates a sense of reassurance, trust, and inspiration, making the individual's presence not only attractive but also enduring and meaningful.